A very good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another flight with the Cloud Surfer channel. I'm Henrik, and I am very happy to see you here. If you watched our flight from Copenhagen to Dublin, you would have seen us. Oops, I almost got hit there. Best not stand on the road. You would have seen us fly to Dublin and have a very pleasant flight over here and parking at stand 204, if I remember correctly. And we are still parked there. We are getting ready to head back to Scandinavia, and we are planned to go back to Gothenburg in Sweden. I did think about going further into Europe, but I decided that I want to get my Norwegian aircraft back to Oslo, and then I plan for a small European tour in a Scandinavian livery. So that is my plan for the next few videos. As you can see, we're online on Fligthsim, and we have currently some ATC coverage. It's Friday evening, so there is usually good coverage in Europe. And we have a Ryanair currently being pushed back and starting up, getting ready for takeoff. We have some more traffic over there as well, so a quite busy evening here in Dublin. I do hope for a pleasant flight. There's no nasty weather waiting for us, and for the time being we also have ATC coverage in Sweden and Gothenburg. I do hope that they stay online for this flight that will last for about 2 hours and take us back over the North Sea and across Denmark to a landing, hopefully safely, in Gothenburg. Let's head towards our aircraft, and today, for saving some time, we will skip the walk around and pretend that it is already done and that the aircraft looks and is safe to fly. So yeah, let's head up into, let's see if we can, would be cool if we could hit this. Can we? Nah. Yeah, we could. So let's head out into the cockpit and let's get seated. So as I said, I will skip the walk around so we can get on our way. Have other things to do as well in real life, and I would like for the ATC to be online for the duration of this flight. That would be very pleasant. As always, I am flying with the failures enabled, and remove flying surfaces, and overspeeds is also enabled, as well as hypoxia and anything else that can go wrong. So we will need to play it safe and do it correctly, which I like because it is all about immersion for me, which is also why I am starting out from Dublin, where I last parked, as you would have seen in my channel description. So, first things first, let's get this up so we can get an overview of frequencies here. There should be an ATC, I think it should be more than what I'm seeing here actually, but we'll check on that later on. Also, I would like to get rid of some of our noisy elements outside. Here we go. So you can go, you can go, and you can go, and you can go, and you can go, and yeah. So let's start by firing up this aircraft. We do have should have ground power available. We have. So let's pop you on. Now I have updated to the latest SIBA mod, and it is untested, so we might have some issues there. And there should be some changes as well to our approach navigation, which we will review later on. We can pop you on. Can't remember, I think it's a 35.22 version I am currently on. Now I lost myself because I'm sitting here talking. Frame wise, yeah, should be okay. So actually I told the whole crew, so we'll just hide them away here and imagine that things are going okay outside. So we need this here on, and we need wheel well on. You can come on, you can come on, and you can come on, and you can come on as well. So I will just need to fix some seating arrangement so I can get further back. My seat wouldn't go further back than so. This is a little bit better. So you are all on, so let's start the testing. It's looking good. And still not working. So still no fix for this. But it's okay. We'll go down here, check the crossreef valve. And it should go to off. There we go. You can come on, imagine we are refueled, and we can test our attend button. And it is working nicely. So, let's get our flight plan up and ready, shall we? A lot of local traffic here in busy Dublin. So what I will need to do as well is just to cancel something, because I was actually uploading a video and I would like to cancel that for another time. And we can do that simply by doing so, closing you down. So here we have our Fligthsim map. Good coverage in Germany as well. Hopefully Denmark could come online, that would be nice. So we have this one here, and we can shut it down. Yeah, still too much time remaining. Yeah, we'll leave this page. I don't really need Facebook. I might keep it up just in case I get a message on the messenger. What I am interested in knowing is any ATC. No ATC from what I can see. So we'll check back on that later. But what we will do is contact approach, and here's just any information. So they are on 21100. Did I forget? I think I did forget to put my flight plan in the correct folder, because I cannot find it here. So we will, you will have me excused while I will go and grab the flight plan. So I do apologize for the delay. The flight plan should now be in the directory. If we do this, here we go, we have our flight plan for Dublin, and my seating has once again just skewed itself, so here we go, and then seat back. And I also found an ATC frequency for Dublin, which is perfect. So we will just get our fuel in, and then we will ask for our clearance. So today we will be quite light to Gothenburg, 51.2 tons zero fuel weight, and we will require 7 tons of fuel, 7.1 to be precise. So we will take 7.5 and 51.2. sorry. That should be correct. 51.2, which is correct. So that is set. Let's just see what is.
I can see a Mike Xplane going 4-1. Clear V4 dump control zone above 1,500 feet. Squawk 425.
Say again, the squawk for North Mike.
I can see a Mike Squawk 042. So
It's hard to reach here.
0425, North Mike.
We need to.
and I can see a Mike state your attention.
North Mike, initially we'd like to be on the Landevetter campus.
I can see a Mike Roger route to Klein report overhead.
Check Klein, report overhead, I can see Mike.
So we will just take a look here. See what's up.
Approach, good evening, sir. This is Ryanair 4 Kilo November with you Boeing 738. Stand 121 request IFS to Frankfurt at 5.
And a 4 Kilo November looking approach. Good evening. Chris Frankfurt. Lift B5 Alpha departure. Runway 28. Squawk 664613. Empty is Shannon control on 131.15.
There we go.
Roger. So close destination DC5 Alpha departure runway 28, squawking 6646, and departure 131 decimal 15 for Ryanair 4 Kilo November.
And a 4 Kilo November. Read back correct. Report ready. Pushing start.
Okay, so
Roger, report ready.
we will need to get some stuff ready, some scratch pad and what have you not, for our clearance. So what I'll actually do is get this here out and get it working and get.
So what I feel already, we can start, we can take the release point.
So we will have ATC at 124.5.
From stand you on for me, please.
One two four decimal 52. Oh. Have they made some changes? Nope. So I don't get any 80s for some reason. At first I thought we had an error with this, but 80s 12452, 80s information on first contact, feel free. 12452, 12452, yeah. So I am unable to get the 80s.
Yeah, 661, so like you know.
So right, Kilo, thank you. Your pushing start is approved onto Foxtrot inner, then pull forward onto tug release point Delta, Dublin QNH to the 996.
Pushing start approved, Fox inner, and then pull on to release point Delta, so we're taking feet.
It's a bit noisy ATC as well, so it's quite hard to hear actually, so it could be a bit of a challenge. But we are looking at, we are at stand 204, and we are looking for a departure from, we are looking for a Liffey 5 Alpha departure from runway 28. So let's just look here. Let's see if this Swift line might be of service. Should be able to punch this one here. Crested and ATC. So let's see what that does. Maybe it pops up here. Let's just check. Nope. That's odd. Just get ATC back.
Golf Sierra Mike, go ahead, climbing.
Go up the air, Mike, you cleared the landway transit, not above 500 feet at all times, put overhead scaries.
Clear on the landway transit, not above 500 feet at all times, report overhead scaries. Golf Sierra Mike.
Let's just listen. Thought there was a transmission going. So every time I push a button on my yoke for the first time, this one flies up. I don't know. Haven't found the error setting. Dublin Control, good evening, NORWEGIAN 511 at stand 204. Request clearance to Gothenburg via Liffey 5 Alpha, IFR as filed. We are unable to get in any ATC, so any weather information would be much appreciated.
Shuttle 511 approach, hello. Yeah, 8 is unavailable this time, so I can give you the METAR if you wish. For now, I'll give you your clearance to flight to Gothenburg. Liffey 5 Alpha departure, runway 28, squawk 6654, airborne frequency, Shannon control on 131.15.
Cleared Gothenburg, squawk 6654 and Liffey 5 Alpha departure. We'll contact control on 13115. Is that correct? NORWEGIAN 511. Sorry.
Shuttle 511, Shannon control went airborne, so your readback is correct. Report ready, push and start.
Shannon's control went airborne, and we'll get back to you with our startup request, NORWEGIAN 511. Okay, so a messy clearance there, but we got it. And he wants us to go straight to Shannon.
And there's number 5, correction, there's number 8 kilos.
Let's see if he sent...
8 kilo, taxi right onto Mike 1, left onto runway 16, hold short of runway 28, report ready for departure.
Right onto Mike 1, left onto 16, short 28, tower 2.
Yeah, so no...
Yeah, ready for picking start.
Sierra Mike.
Ryanair 4.
24 kilo November, hold position side back, break, Echo Sierra Mike, not above 500 feet at all times, please. QNH is 90906.
Along 906, we're indicating that. Echo Gothenburg.
09096.
24 kilo November, your push is approved. QNH 996 hectopascal.
Yeah, 996.
Roger, Persian South approved creation 996 for Ryanair Fox 7 November.
And we'll just reconfirm that later on. So, and Shannon control we'll put in as well. Oops. 996. And let's just get Shannon control out here, shall we? Shannon at 131.15. One 131.15 and 131.15 set. So we got Shannon ready and we can start setting up our flight. So before we do that, we will get our reserve set. That is let's give it a good 2.5 for reserves. Bit rusty today. I feel a bit confused in my head. It has been a long day at work and then watching a movie with my kid and you know, everyday stuff. So that's our route. Yep. And departure will be as filed from runway 28. Leafy 5 Alpha is here. To Q37 Mallet and a lag spike for some reason. Don't know if it has to do with the update of SIBO I did or a lot of traffic. Q35 Mallet. Let's just check that Q35. I did say. Now why won't you insert this? So we could go direct mallet, but I do not like it when it does not UL975. So let's see how he likes this. We'll accept that. So Wallasey. And direct to Pole Hill. Up 17. Go. Digby. P15. Sorry, I'm just concentrating a little bit with this overworn brain of mine. Vaxit.
Super taxi, no, still ready for sure. Wait, chili.
Kuvus. Double check.
Kilo and Q, 7.250 degrees, 9 and opposite runway 28, short. Take on, oh no.
N607.
Where do we go from H2, Sean?
7, there we go.
Yeah, what is the taxi for Ryanair?
Marker.
And a 4 kilo November, taxi straight ahead, link 5. Left onto Foxtrot, then right onto Mike 1. Left again onto runway 16, taxi down runway 16.
Marker 3 Sierra. Arrival and onto Gothenburg.
Roger, 5 Foxtrot, Mike 1 and backtrack 16 and report for departure for Ryanair.
Marker 3 Sierra, correct.
And a 4 kilo November.
The first check on your Gothenburg.
Just confirm it's the 8th. Break,
Yeah,
and a
looks
4
good.
kilo November, just confirm it's the first left on the Foxtrot inner.
Reserves, we
Roger,
will say
confirm Foxtrot inner for
yeah,
Foxtrot.
2.7. And we will just confirm that because that is a very big safety issue. So it is set to
about 1.5-2 miles.
2.3 actually, but we will set 2.5.
We appear to have a difference between our altimeter, which is indicating 500 on the 0996, and our transponder, which is showing us at a pressure altitude of 1,000 feet. So we'd like to route back to Weston now with that tech issue.
Oh, they have a tech issue, so they are turning back actually. Quite the drama here tonight.
I guess Sierra Mike or Roger, not above 1,500 feet and remain north of the runway 102 extended center line. I will have crossing for you shortly.
And approach your transmission transmitted about 2.5 times there. You might repeat that for us, please, Sierra Mike.
Echo Sierra above 1,500 feet, remain north of the runway 102
236
center line at all times. I'll have crossing for you shortly.
That was 1,500 feet and north of the 28106 extended center line at all times, and we'll expect crossing shortly. Sierra Mike.
I'm really cooked in my head, so this will be a fun, because I forgot to put in our altitude first, cruising altitude, which will be quite high today, 39,000 feet. And we'll just pop that in here, lest we forget. And maybe it is dumb or stupid of me to go straight onto Fligthsim with a newly updated release candidate of the CPMAD. There could be all sorts of issues. Or errors that I have done or something like that. The sensible thing to do was to do a few flights offline, and then when I'm comfortable with it I would go online. But we are brave and have much trust in the SIBO crew. So 39,000 feet set, and I do believe it's 500 at Gothenburg. It's one of our favorite airports. We will recheck that later on. So easy deviation back to our schedule is +11. And we can execute that. And outside temperature is 18 degrees Celsius. And we will do a 22 kd rate. We are very light today. And takeoff is flaps 5. And we have 130, 131, 140. Let's see if we can fix this now. No, we need to start up, I think. Okay, so that is all set. Let's get our trim. 4.5 units D-step. There we go. Set. And we will revisit our planning table here. So we will do the Leafy 5 Alpha, which means a climb up to over 3,000 feet and then a right turn over the Dublin we are. Let's just get our steps here. Then over England and north, along the English coast, and then over Scotland, over the North Sea. And then descend on the approach into. So that looks very, very good and as expected. So we can accept that. So that is set.
Please take off for 28. Thank you very much for the service. Bye-bye for Foxtrot number.
Yep. Lights are looking good. And we can not do this check yet, just yet, because we have this here error. But what we can do is, let's see, maybe, no, that doesn't help. Oh, it's a bit quick there. And we can do
adjust vertical speed. Adjust. Climb. Climb now. Climb. Climb now. Climb. Crossing. Climb. Climb. Crossing. Climb. 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 Clear of conflict.
check
Descend.
out escape rope.
Descend. Descend. Crossing. Descend. Descend. Crossing.
Could check the
Descend.
fuses.
Descend. Descend now. Descend. Descend now. Increase. Climb. Increase. Climb. Increase descent. Increase descent. Maintain vertical speed. Maintain. Maintain vertical speed. Crossing. Maintain. Monitor vertical speed. TCAS test. Pass.
Actually, all those doors open annoys me, so let's just close it down. And let's start our boarding. So let's look at some maps. We are at Dublin Airport. It's elevated to 42 feet. Mean sea level. Let's just check we are on Barrow. That is correct. Whoops. So actually what we'll need to do is find our Xplane. Here we go, which allows me to engage my VR mouse, which then allows me to have a better control of this. And we can hide the VR mouse again. 242 set. And while we're at it, we will have a look at the latest weather from Windy, which we love to use. QNH, yeah, that is correct. 0996, yes, that is set. Very good. And we do still have ATC as we hoped. We even have it over Germany. I did think about going to Berlin today, but as I mentioned, I would like to go back to Scandinavia to switch aircraft and make a plan for a European tour to take you guys on. So that is all good. And do we need this? Yeah, we can keep it on for a while. I got a message from one of my buddies. Okay, so onto the maps. So we need the airport, and we need to find some taxi info first. Parking stands.
Yeah, my information is a British Airways A319 just rotating now on runway 28. You have an place?
Huh? I'm just rotating on the runway. Bye bye. Don't think that's so here's our parking stands. And I expect us to push back facing south, then go link 3 to link 1. Yeah.
Welcome to the traffic clear across the center line.
Here we are.
Report the zone boundary. Go steering.
So F3, F2, go via link 1 to F3, then F2, F1, Foxtrot 3, Foxtrot 2, Foxtrot 1. Might get along taxi instructions, but let's see. So we need our departure stand, or departure route here, Liffey 5 Alpha, which is here. And it didn't clear us to any altitude, but I do think I heard 5,000 mentioned. It does actually say 9, so we'll put 9 in until further notice. And we'll keep our ears peeled to hear if anyone else is getting something similar to that. So our runway heading will be to 278. Actually, it will be 277 if I'm not mistaken, because Xplane does have that 1 degrees discrepancy. Yeah, 278. That is actually correct.
Go off the hour, Mike.
Don't know if they updated their maps on Navigraph, but look, it's correct, so that's good.
Radio check.
I read you strength 5.
Likewise.
So we'll climb on runway heading to the Dublin DOE, and we will. Should we code that? We could. Yeah, we could do that. So we will set the ADF here and 316. Sorry. There we go, just for visual guidance, and then we will also put in Dublin at 14.9. There we go. And let's see, that's 96. So that is set. That will take us straight to Liffey, so straightforward departure. Not much going on here. Yeah. Only thing is our altimeter clearance, but we should be getting that from Shannon, and I would expect them to clear us quite high after departure, at least to 9,000. If not, then we will just adjust it. We'll just leave that there now for reference. Now what we need to do is get some lights going, because we are going to fly in the night. As the sun is setting here. And pop some light on here as well. There we go. And so that's our charts. So again, push back facing south. Most likely we will be informed about using link 4 or link 3 onto Foxtrot 2 or Foxtrot 3, then Foxtrot 1 down to Echo 1 for lineup on runway 2. Let's get this started. For lineup on runway 28 and departure. Okay, so let's just go over everything one last time. Got all sorts of windows going here. And we have fuel. Okay, that's looking good. Ground power. Pop you on. Set auto. And looking good. Going steady, and it's on. I would like to keep that in 5. I would like the airports here.
With you.
And
Passing out to
here we go.
7,
There we go.
17,000.
Oh yeah, we're able to fix that. I don't know what button
Yeah,
I need to
China
push to. I would like to have the L now. Guidance on.
Approach leaving. Dial from my 28. Route direct to Latmo. Descent 8,000.
There we go.
Coming to 9 and expect that down.
And we have 260 and 45. 45.
China 717
260.
Alpha. Expect ILS approach.
074.
Route direct to
074.
Latmo.
That's correct.
Descent altitude 3,000 feet.
And we have our barrel set, and we have our Q engine. And as I heard now, 996 is still current. So that is very good. And we have our Oscar Echo ADF set, and we have our stab trim set. So now we can prepare to depart, and after we depart we'll contact Shannon, and he will give us some clearance and perhaps a shortcut or something. There's not much of a shortcut to be had, but he will give us a climb clearance. We will fly over the Irish Sea, head a bit north and then out over the North Sea towards Gothenburg, and there we will need to be quick on our frequencies. So that is all good. So let's just get our scratch pad ready in case we get something a bit too cryptic. I already used up half of it, might have to reset it. So let's pop the fuel pumps on, get the APU going.
Okay, descend up to 3 colors.
Come on. And I do not like this here lag. I do not know what it could be coming from. On and on. Set. And we are golden. Okay. Now we've got some air flowing. Is it me? Is it just a bit louder than it has been? Maybe just a tad bit louder. So it is confusing. The 204, 205 left the stand, but we are actually at 204. And that's what I ordered. So just waiting for them.
China 717 for direct realism, Lima Alpha Papa Mike Oscar direct lapsmo.
So we are sitting here, so hopefully we will get a pushback facing south and not north, because then we'll have to change. Okay, so we can pop the APU on. There we go. Dublin Control, North Shuttle 511, request push and start.
North Shuttle 511, your push status approved, QNH 996 hectopascal.
Push and start approved, and QNH is noted, North Shuttle 511. So he didn't actually give us any push direction, so we will push as we want to, I guess. So, anti-collision lights on, and well, it's all disconnected, so we will just request the pushback.
Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
And we will do our oxygen is tested, navigation navigation transfer to space, which is normal and auto, window heat is on, pressurization mode selector was auto, and we have checked that. Flight instruments, heading and altimeters are cross-checked, and parking brake is set, engine start switches is cut off. Before start jet is... Did you just go offline?
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed.
Before
ready to connect.
Start checklist. Flight deck door is closed and locked. Yep. Fuel pumps, we have 7.5 tons on board, and we have pumps on. Passenger signs is on, windows are locked, MCP, we have the V2, we have the heading and altitude set. We speeds, we had 130, 131 and 140. CDO pre-flight completed, radar and aileron trim is free and 0. Taxi and takeoff briefing has been completed, anti-collision lights are off. Before startup checklist is...
So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
And releasing parking brake.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Starting number 2. So I did hear a sort of a check-off sound, but I do still think he's... No, he checked off, it's just, yeah. So no further ATC from him. So we'll see if Shannon Control will 131 decimal 15. So it's going to be a night full of errors, starting real good.
Line continues, you can want you to do that for the main provider. You can want to do that for me, KLM 785, goodbye. Goodbye.
So let's see if he gives any ground services.
Air China 717 Alpha, no ATC seat restrictions.
Oh come on, you can't be signing off, guys. Went on like just for you. Oh, I even forgot about the engines up in the midst of all of this. Start a cutout and we will start number 1.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Set parking brake.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Start a cutout. And I can pop generators on. Come off. Let's alter set. Yep. Full forward. Left. Right center.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the left. We'll see you next time. Have a safe flight.
Thank you. And go to RTO. Flaps 5 and you can get the terrain and I will take the weather. And I don't really know if we should ask Shannon for Shannon Control for any clearance for takeoff or taxi or anything.
Mike Echo Charlie 197, leave my airspace on and offline, continue Unicon 132 that. Lead on my flight, bye bye.
Okay, sir, back over to Unicon. Thank you, have a great evening. Raj 197.
I think he's signing off. So what we'll do is that we will taxi ourselves. But before that we need to do our checklist. So generators are on, probe heat is not on, but it's a good thing we had the checklist, what it is. First on now, anti-air is not required, isolation valve is auto, engine start switch is continuous, recall has been checked, and auto brakes RTO, engine start levers idle detent, flight controls are checked, and ground equipment is clear. Taxi checklist completed. So,
Air China 717 Alpha, clear to land runway 28, surface wind 250 degrees 10.
Okay, so it does sound like he gives some ATC, so we'll just wait for 8 China to okay. He's really low if that's Air China. Hardly him. Shannon Control, North Shuttle 511, request taxi to runway 28. Let's see if...
Hello, 511 Shannon, or correction, 511 Shannon, hello. Taxi, Link 4, Foxtrot, Echo 1, hold short runway 28.
Link 4, Foxtrot, hold short to Echo 1, hold short runway 28, North Shuttle 511. So there we go. Thank you, Shannon Control, for the ATC. So we then need to make actually a very sharp turn here. See if this will get us moving. So there's Air China coming in. So did he actually fly from China? That would be interesting. Oops, a bit proactive taxi speed.
Over 8 Kilo Shannon, 1 ready, descend, flight level 80. Shannon, flight 80, start 8 Kilo. I'm ready.
So we need this here actually, so that's Echo 1, that's where we're going. So it's just all the way down Foxtrot.
Hello, we're going to be off the west bike, we're going west, and we're going to start this.
And I don't have any movement from my trusty butt kicking.
Echo India, under my Shannon, good evening, you're approved the accumulation liner liner 6 hectopascals, expect runway 25 departure.
25996, approved, second looks like you.
So here we're coming to sort of a...
Sonic Control, good evening, Shamrock 584, would you stand 30 Shannon,
Shamrock 584, Shannon, good evening, clear to London City, Pagu 2 Bravo departure, runway 24, stop time on 25000 please, your squawk 665
So we are now at Echo 1.
So could you say again the squawk, Shamrock 584?
Shamrock 584, the Pagu 2 Bravo departure, and squawk 6656.
I just need to fix something really fast.
Okay, Fligthsim City,
Here we go. Can't stand that.
Shamrock 584, back right, call ready for push and start.
001.
Airport flight.
So set the parking brake. And we do have some incoming traffic.
001 push and start approved. Stand by circulation.
Push that approved and you say that last bit again, 001.
Let's just reset this. The Shannon Control sounds a bit tired tonight. Do hope that he will last until we leave Irish airspace. So I think it's a British Airways coming in. Channel control, North Shuttle 511, holding short runway 28 at Echo 1. Just letting him know that we are here and we are eager to go.
North Shuttle 511, thanks. Behind the landing, British Airways 777, line up runway 28 and wait behind.
Line up and wait behind and after British Airways on runway 28. North Shuttle 511.
Correct. Break Speedbird 001, the Shannon QNH is 997 hectopascals. QNH 997 hectopascals, 001.
So we will
Big Fox Mike taxi, holding point runway 25 before radio departure.
cabin crew, please be seated for departure.
Calling this only currently wear space on the offline, continue if you need to come on 2 to that fully. Bye bye.
French American 91 in Charlie. Shamrock 584, ready push start.
Shark 584 push and start is approved, Shannon 997.
Oh, what did he do? Did he
Did
park there or? I think he will show up.
October 8 kilo descent to altitude 5,000 feet. The carry QNH 99.
That's real fuel efficiency there for you. So there we go. So it's Boeing 777. So we will.
And we'll lost stop as established 26. Stop 8 kilo.
There we go.
So we're 8 kilo correct. My sincere apologies. QNH is 998 hectopascal. And passing flight level 80. You're in your service.
Set. So we can do our takeoff checklist. Flaps 5, green light, stabilizer trim 4.5, units D-stab, transponder TARA set, and we're currently lining up looking for 278. Radars are on and we are lit up and shiny.
I think I'll just that flight is ready for departure.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
Thank you.
Approaching 3-4. Approaching runways.
3 hours endurance and we'll be via Fort Newcastle through the Dublin zone.
Short final is clear.
Thank you. Call copy. Master departure right. Turn on track. Power around about not above 1,500 feet. Clear takeoff 25. The wind is 250 degrees. 9 225, clear takeoff. Full western Parmesan Hill, switching into deck of our flight. 2001, request answer.
On runway 28.
Everyone, you can commence the slow taxi along the. There is actually standby one. Everyone, apologies, you can taxi down to 1,000 feet or my 24. Actually, that's
He's waiting for taxi instructions. Let's see if he gets back to us or if we have to push him.
Norwich Shuttle 511, please, sir.
On runway 28. On runway 28.
Clear for takeoff, runway 28, North Shuttle 511. I guess he said clear for takeoff.
Over 8 kilo, roger, descend to altitude 3,000
So,
feet, Imperial Island approach
40%.
Support 5,
start the timer, and we are stabilized. Set takeoff thrust.
Next report, ITC, Tower 5. Okay, go in the after function, check your 193.1. And next report,
80 knots. V1, rotate. Positive rate.
Bit hard rotation there. Buck up. And we can go flaps 1. Shannon control, North Shuttle 511, passing flight level 20, inbound Oscar Echo.
North Shuttle 511, thank you, I'm dead, flight, secured my position, flight 50330.
Flying flight level 130, North Shuttle 511. That engine noise is really just blocking out any chance of hearing what's going on.
Mark 584 taxi now going down to 214.
And onto flight directors. Flaps up. So I really need to do something about the engine noise here. There we go. Just have to, otherwise I have no chance of, which is a shame.
I agree now. Bike close and promise nothing about. Echo Fox Flight, thank you. You're clear to enter the zone. Runway 28, use QH sideline.
That's Oscar in there, several ships too.
You're in the zone, 906, and copy to activate Fox Flight.
Next Fox Flight, would you be receiving fire parade and over something else?
If I will go back to pitch now to meet and then...
He might actually have cleared us to our cruise altitude. So we'll just check the...
Echo Fox, Michael, you can route pigeon out chimneys, following the coast and then towards Bray. About 1,500 feet, no traffic in the zone 292, next score approaching Bray.
Well, copy, thanks. Promise, pigeon out and Bray, and I'll listen to you and do the...
TAD 15 still in the clouds, but we are just at the top of it. Let's check the text chat here. That's a turn, we're out of the clouds. And we can release the cabin crew. Do our after takeoff checklist. After takeoff, engine bleeds on, packs auto, landing gear up and off, no flaps. After takeoff checklist completed. After passing 10,000, we will contact channel control again and confirm our climb clearance to flight level 130. There's 10,000. We'll visit how we can turn this off. Channel Control, North Shuttle 511, could you please confirm our climb clearance to flight level 130?
North Shuttle 511 negative, cleared flight level 230.
Cleared flight level 230, North Shuttle 511.
Seabird 1, the wind 240 degrees 19 knots.
There's our transparent airplane giving us a red light district in the cockpit. Had the sun in our backs, but it will soon dissipate. So, okay. And it would be more fun to do more hand flying, but the workload is quite high when you have the ATC and the noise, so it's just so bad you can't get the engine noise from the takeoff. I don't really have a good fix for that, keeping the engine noise and keeping... I have tried to turn up, but you can get it quite loud in here actually. I think the Swiftline is the loudest one you can get, but let's just check for any possible ATC over Great Britain.
Shark 584B.
Nope. So we will soon go to Unicom.
Shark 584, you can turn left now onto Delta 2 and taxi all the way down to 214 runway 24.
Luckily it looks like Gothenburg is gone, but Sweden is still there. I do think I was too late this evening. Darn it. Here we are. Anyway, thank you for your service, Ryan O. Mulleran, for making it fun and interesting experience. So even with the floodlights on, it actually feels like it's, yeah, because of the sunlight, it's, the cockpit lighting effects is sort of buggy. It will prefer the sunlight, so I'll have to live with that until the sun sets. So actually we can release the cabin and give them a nice PM. Don't want to do a personal PM today, so I can do like this.
One report you're passing altitude. 01 passing altitude 2008. 01, thank you, identifying cleared Rex Trumbull, climb level 3301. Direct Bombay,
1,000 to go.
North Shuttle 511 meanwhile, space on the offline, continue Unicom 122 destination, flight Boeing.
We'll continue your monitor Unicom on 122.8 and thank you for service, North Shuttle 511. So
thank you for flying with me.
Thank you for flying with me. You're welcome. You're welcome, Brian. So now the red light has dissipated some, and we get the. You cannot see in the recording, but I do have a slight foggy hue because of the OLED. But if I turn this on, should dissipate a bit. Actually seems that it's still not giving me quite the lighting I am looking for. Oh, yeah, we do have some lighting issues, that's for sure.
Shark 584, the wind 240 degrees, 19 knots, your way 24, clear takeoff.
The takeoff from my 24, Shark 5.
So we didn't want to guide us any further. I think he has his hands full. He's one guy with 1, 2, 3, 5. Not that many actually. So Sweden is offline, still online, so we will get him to, as long as we have the ESA's control. Felix, hang in there, Felix. And we will go over British or big scenery Isles and get a good view test of our where we are right now. Map seems to be acting up a bit. It's a shame. But we're way past Liffey, so we are basically seeing. I'm not that good on this job. I think this you can hit me in the comments if I'm wrong, and I will be sorry. I think, isn't this Wales? This part here. So I think we are seeing Wales coming on to us down there. Actually, looking really good. Orbix. Here we have the darkness again. Let's check the brightness. Maybe you guys are disrupting the light. I don't know. Can't really seem to get dim, bright. Normally if I have that on, it will lighten up everything, which doesn't, which is a shame. But maybe has to do with the sunset lighting. Beautiful sunset. Actually, I'll try get it. Screenshots are difficult in VR, but I will try nonetheless. We do have some cloudy weather, so let's see if that map is working again. I can close you down and get Gothenburg into you. Yeah, 500 feet. Just check that, so now we're certain. And let's get. Okay, so that helped. That's good. That's a start. So here we are. And I have ocean on my side, but on the FO side we should have some views of Great Britain down there. Not much light to be seen. Actually not too bad for screenshots either. That was a good view, and should be focusing on flying and not taking screenshots, shouldn't I? There we go. Yeah. Quite tall clouds below actually. So we are at, oops, I forgot that I cannot fly first officer because I have a wall here. So I will have to jump back into the correct seat, and what I will do before that though, I will at least get some lights on this side as well. And I'm a bit skewed here, so I'll just correct that. There we go. So we will need to pop you to and actually we should be getting some interested to see what happens once you pass over Manchester here. Right above Fligthsim. There's some traffic around and no ATC, so we need to be a little bit aware here. Should be too much of an issue though. Anyway, what I would like to do really quickly is to shut these down and to get out of my seat to get a good look, because it really is something. Yeah. Oops. So I just need to bring my spaghetti with me. I mean, all the wires connected to my head, like the Matrix, which I just watched with my son. Yeah, this is good. Let's do some more. And there's Great Britain down there.
Thousand to go.
Now if you've seen some of my other videos, you would hear me talking about how bad it is that you can't bring people. That's Manchester or Liverpool, I think. Yeah, that's Liverpool. How bad it is that you can't bring friends or loved ones in here to enjoy views like this, flying into the night. So we will be passing right over Liverpool and Manchester. Actually, we'll be turning shortly at Flightsim, but we will pass over. The frames actually ain't that bad. So we can do one more while we're standing. And then we should probably get seated again. There we go. Yeah, that's Liverpool coming down there. If we didn't have clouds, it would be really something. So let's check the dome light. Still not, still no brightness and no real use in it. So there's our turn to Pole Hill. Oops, quite lively. There we go. I'm going to just fill up the output cache with screenshots, that's for sure. Look at that. Yeah, let's do one more. That's good. Nice turn here. We can address the passengers again. That's a lie. We actually have 1 hour and 40 minutes to go. So I see another thing I want to enable. That's the, you see that yellow haze below. The sunset haze is a little bit too pronounced. Almost drowns out. But we are quite high, so I guess it is quite good looking now. But that dome light really bugs me. Doesn't do anything. Watching the frames as we are passing in over some very decent heavy scenery. Got some weather showing up here. So the problem is that this out of order. Reading the checklist or reading anything really is difficult. And it is working, so there's no failure on it. So I can tell you it has to do with the situation of having that light behind you, so that the shade of the night light will kill. But we'll find out soon enough. Here we have Manchester, and then we'll turn northbound or Pole Hill. We can take a look at our flight plan as well. Look at the weather charts, shouldn't be any major issues. Here we have our route, and then we'll turn northbound shortly, and then go across the North Sea, long leg over the water, passing over northern Denmark, Aalborg, where we will start our descent, I guess, and into Gothenburg. Don't know if the moon is coming out tonight. So there's VNAV doing some crazy correction before turning to Pole Hill. At 16. What I am dreaming about is getting this here working. The weather radar. So we're turning away from the weather. Let's do one more. I know it's a bit too much, but I can always delete them. Actually, sometimes you find yourself getting disappointed when you look down, you don't see your body, and you use your, I have my right arm here, you use your left arm to point at something that you don't. Hopefully someday you'll have a full immersion, what do you call it, haptic suit. That would be so awesome. I would live in that. So going dark very shortly. Not much happening for a good while. So what we could do is get our client back out. Just have a look-see of what is around us. So here we are, passing this guy here from, I think he's going from, it's hard to see, Newcastle. Here we go. From Newcastle to Ibiza, long flight. Chris Worthrold, how do you do? I will hopefully see you shortly, if not already. No. So he has a long flight ahead of him. Will come up sure enough. Let's just see, check his flight level. He should be low, he should be quite heavy, so he is at, yeah, so we have good separation, 2,000 feet, and we will turn over, I think around Newcastle, so we'll go here, so we won't be messing with the traffic up around Edinburgh. Still can't see him down. Should be quite visible actually. Yeah. Maybe it's a bit laggy and delayed, who knows. So, let's see. Oh no. No. Always picked the wrong airport. I should have picked Copenhagen. Or somewhere in Germany. And I would have had control all the way here. So I again picked a boring ATC-less flight. So we did have departure ATC, but that's it. That's odd. So sorry about that, guys. I had a small technical hiccup. Nothing major. The picture froze and I had to get out of VR and get it back working, and also my son walked in and had to say goodnight and stuff. So but nothing seriously happened. The aircraft followed the routes luckily, and we are still on our way, and we are still on Fligthsim and doing fine. That is what happens. Real life gets in the way, so you can get children in the flight deck on this airline, no problems. I'm real sad about Sweden going offline though, but should have done the flight earlier. I even considered going to Bergen, and they also have. So all the places I considered: Copenhagen, Bergen. Only place that doesn't have is Berlin, but then we would have had all this. But instead we will settle in now for a turn over the North Sea for a long leg over the water. Bet you there's no news on. Let's just check that. Still not working. So people trying to get in touch with me. No, nothing to. No need to have this out just yet. There's no people around me either, so we'll be turning to 70 degrees over the North Sea. And be cruising along nicely into the night. With no lights in the flight deck working. This bugs me really. Should be, all of this should be lit up now. So it could be an issue with the latest CBOMAD update. Don't know. Also the wing lights don't look too bright either. Normally you see the logo, so I think it's the evening shade is having an override. Here we go. Nothing but sea now. Don't even think we'll see much traffic over here either, so we'll go this way here. Let me just catch a drink, if I can find it. There we go. And it looks like Ireland is offline as well now. So actually we missed the peak of the ATC services this Friday evening. I would imagine that the Dutch controller will be quite busy. She is servicing EM as well. Frankfurt is busy. Do you think London and Frankfurt are normally quite active? Manchester is off as well. So let's have a look at the weather. Oh. So we need to update this, I think. Yeah. So we went in here. So we're out here somewhere, nothing at all. Clouds wise. Yeah. light clouds. I don't think we'll have much clouds actually. The QNH currently in Gothenburg is 1011. Go. Have to do everything in pitch darkness, eh? There we go. Still a bit of a hue. We'll try the cabin light as soon as. So what we'll do for a bit of immersion, we'll put it to dim night lighting. Oh, let's see. Here we are. So what I would like to do is also tune Aalborg as an alternate, and there it is at 116.7. And we could of course see if we could find something in the opposite direction as well, something like, I don't know, Newcastle 114.25. There's our stars a bit. Get that from the space warp a bit. Screens here with the stars. Still a bit too bright for my liking, actually. Oh well. I do think the grey, yeah, you have that grey haze. That bugs me a bit. So here we are over the North Sea, to Newcastle, and if we try to pinpoint ourselves here, there we are on our route. On the way to Naval. And it's pretty much a direct route. So there's what seems to be a change of light. Let's just see. No. Let's have a look at the cabin. At least they have some lighting. So actually, what we can do is take a walk. And the Norwegian cabin mod actually is a bit fluorescent. There's our wing. We should have wing lights on, but they are also not working. So it would seem that there is a light issue. Yeah, so we should have some wing lights, which we don't. So what I'll do is I'll pop back shortly, and we'll just see. No. Oops. Let's check the FO side. No wing lights here either, so it's just shutter closed. There's not much to be seen. Let's do a screenshot of this actually. we go. And let's pop back in that seat. So actually, I was thinking about making a video. There was an update on the new Microsoft Flightsim that I'm sure everyone has heard about today, where they showed some more interesting videos than I think they have shown so far. In the first video were more of a wow factor, but today's video did actually give us some hints. One of the interesting things was what looked like to be volumetric clouds, and some really good textures and shaders, as well as terrain, of course, but that could be area specific. But still, it looks very promising for 2D. Still no concrete news about how this will work with VR. I do believe that if they want to, they can make a fantastic sim. They have the resources and the know-how to do that, but if they are willing to, is a whole different case. But I will think I will take a look at it and maybe make a video later on. So here we are, closing our midway point over the North Sea. Been airborne for 45 minutes now. Do have a tailwind that helps us time-wise, I think. And actually also we do have some fuel, so we could increase the speed a little if we wanted to, actually. It does annoy me with the light though. Anyhow, not much to say or do in these long flights. I am planning on doing a tour into Europe, but I will switch livery from my usual Norwegian livery and go Scandinavian 737, and then I was contemplating grabbing a list of European Union countries and still consider the Great Britain as part, and plan for one landing in each of them and do a hop around. It would be a long trip, but it would be interesting. Instead of me hopping back and forth in Scandinavia, which I have done in quite a few videos. I do also think that I would like to do one flight to the Faroe Islands one day. I haven't been there for a long time. Mostly because it's a quite long flight, rarely in ATC, and yeah, interesting approach, but you have to really fly for a long time for it. So while we're sitting here bored, we could at least get our charts out. At least we have backlighting on the instruments. So we are going to do the Maku 3 Sierra arrival. Maku 3 Sierra. Have actually flown this one time before in some really nasty weather. I think I have a video about that, actually, one of the first ones I made. So there we go. And then we need to approach. And we're going to runway 21, ILS approach. No hanky-panky there. There we go. With a minimum of 706. So we'll just see if we can pop the sim out now without crashing anything. Yep. And we'll get our VR mouse. We had 706. bit too much. There we go. Set. Pop you back off. And let's get on about all alone out here. We have one Ryanair going from Landevetter, where we are going, to Stansted, alternate Schiphol, 38,000 feet. Just on the edge of ATC. Darn it. Copenhagen is still on. Sweden has gone to bed. So yeah, I went too late on this flight, unfortunately. It's a shame about the light though. I do hope that the rest of our lights are working. Nope, not working. Let's get to the airport. And I don't expect any ATC when we arrive, and it's quite close little airport, nothing to be mistaken about. So there we have it. We'll go on to 3. And missed approach. 3,000 feet, and then right turn, Tomby, and then back. Let's see if Tomby is shown here. Sorry, here. Or if we should have it here, actually, so we can just take a look. No, it just has vector. So we could put in Tomby actually. We should be able to. And that would give us approach, and then we have the missed approach, 3,000, and Tomby, and then back on for a new approach. So that's all looking fine, so we can turn you off. Bet you that this Ryanair guy was the last guy leaving. So now Copenhagen is off as well. Actually, I also considered Hamburg, typically. And we would have been around the top of the descent now as well, so... Oop, Dublin is back. So if people are coming back on, that means that there is a slight hope. Not a big one, but there is hope. So let's look at this guy, see if we can from Billund to the Faroe Islands, night flight. Airbus. So yeah, he has a long leg on water ahead of him. We might actually bump into him around here. Actually, he's also going to the Faroe Islands, so we have two flights going out there. Newcastle is still active. We have got no indications from Aalborg just yet. We are still far out, so what we could put in is Landevetter. And we could put in what are we, 0.5? Go. And I think after being in Gothenburg and leaving it again, I will stay away from Gothenburg for a while. So let's look at the weather. About. So we're basically here in the middle of this here, so we should be having full cloud cover below us, which we do. And actually I'm looking quite forward to getting back to Denmark. After Denmark it's starting to look more doable. It's a long flight, I won't lie. So we have 318 nautical miles and 173 to our top of descent. So top of descent is 20 minutes from now, so that's livable. So what we can do meanwhile is just do our classical fixed wings preparations. There we go. Nope. There we go. Runway 21. And a 5-mile ring. And a 10-mile ring. What we can also do is put in our forecast winds, just to keep ourselves occupied. A lot of pages to go through here. So we will do 31, 20 and 10. Two 6328. 26328. Two 3022 23022. And last but not least 21715. 21715. There we go, and execute that. There we go. Let's have a look here. There we are. Map is slightly skewed, but I can't really turn it. So here's our turn, slightly more eastbound at Vaxit, which will take us towards Aalborg. So that will leave us at 65. And we can confirm it's completely pitch black outside and there's no lights from our lamp. It's lighting up, but it's not doing anything for us. So let's just see. Yeah, you can see it light up, but if you look around, there's no areas being lit up. And also the wing lights are not working. We should begin slightly turning now. Is that the moon? What the? That's no moon. Yeah, it must be the moon. What's it doing down there? It must be the moon rising and us being so high that it seems like it's sticking out of the ground. I don't know. Odd. Yeah, it's the moon rising. You can see the brightness rings as well. So here we go. 72. Oh. But it's rising. Yeah, it's the moon rising. So but, it's below the clouds yet. So we'll have the moon to look at least. Alright, so here we are all alone. And our friend here hasn't left Billon yet, by the looks of it. Yeah, he has left, he is climbing. 10,000 feet, so we won't be seeing much of him, I think. And I am afraid that Sweden has gone to bed. And it even looks like we have a Landevetter to ourselves. Let's just see. One departure, one. So the one arrival must be us. Let's see if this is working. Arrivals. Departures. So why aren't we listed as arrivals? There we are. And the departure is... That's quite cool actually, so... Kevin Hansen, Ryanair, going to GSS. I'm not that good in the British airports. What's that? Sunderland or something. GSS. Stansted? Yeah, that could be Stansted. I don't know. Doesn't matter really. Bet you he'll be. He hasn't even loaded in yet, or has he? Yeah, maybe he has. Yeah, that's the guy. So, so all to ourselves. No planned flights there. To Kastrup from Cologne. Should be flying more to Germany, so I'll do that much more in the coming future. the moon coming in. Okay, so we are 1 hour into our flight and have now got just a little over 15 minutes. There's Aalborg. So that's always a good sign to see land again. So now Aalborg is definitely our alternate if anything should happen. Could take a look at the engines. We should be at 3.3 tons at Gothenburg currently so we do burn 1.1 ton more during this flight. And if you're wondering, this moon is available at Xplane.org. It's called HD Moon and it replaces the default Xplane moon, which is quite low resolution. And I do think, even though in VR you don't get really the HD, but it does give off quite a good representation, much better than the default one. Here we are. So currently done with this track here. So we have, in 1 hour, we have actually done most of the flying. We have had a good, strong wind blowing with us, so it has reduced the flight time. With a ground speed just below 500. You can even see our top of the descent coming in. How nice would it be if Denmark locked down also Gothenburg? Let's look at the coverage for the rest of Europe while we're at it. So really good coverage in Russia. It's impressive. And I do like, just looking for last names, I do really like it when local guys do the ATC as well, so you get the accents and it just gets so much more unique. So, yeah, it does look Russian. And you got all of Balkan. We have good coverage there as well. Yes, sir. And we are coverage in Paris as well. You could have done a Paris-London flight leg or a Copenhagen-London flight leg, but we'll do that later on our European tour. I might take that back once I find out how many countries there are. Yeah. So if we had no clouds, we should be able to see the Danish coastline now, the lights in there. We have Aalborg coming up here. And our top of descent in just under 80 nautical miles. And star brightness, might consider reducing the star brightness even more. But I do prefer flying in daytime. Nighttime does have some charm, but daytime as well can be. Let's just take another screenshot because we have nothing more sensible to do. See if we can get a good view. Still set a screenshot. We can go like this close up. There we go. I do not get the 2D quality with the full realism or realistic look, but it's worth the trade-off for VR. So no need to monitor Unicom text chat. Is that our... Yeah, that's our Faroe Island guy, Eric. Good. Have a nice flight, Eric. Both Swedish and Danish airspace looks quite barren. There are some aircraft on the ground in Copenhagen though. Could have a quick look at them. Zoom. 2 aircraft on the ground in Copenhagen. Yeah. One for one arrival. One to Frankfurt, not yet left. And of course I am still hoping and dreaming for a good scenery for Copenhagen. We sorely need that. We have good scenery for Billund and Aalborg, but not for Copenhagen, which is a darn shame. Moon has climbed slightly higher. We'll climb higher once you start our descent shortly. So what we can do as we are closing in on top of descent is just reconfirm our QNH. Update this here and look at the meter. Normally actually if I were not recording I would be having YouTube or something open, looking at videos, listening to music and whatnot. So might do that sometime. Here we go. Unchanged. So we could do this just to get a full read. Looks like basically wind straight down the runway. 6 knots, nothing to worry about there. Few clouds at 3, scattered for 2. Yeah. might monitor the TAT a bit, but other than that, nothing to really write home about. So we should be crossing over some land now. And we have Landevetter in sight, so we can pop you down. And that's of course always encouraging to see Landevetter in yeah. So 18.50. 18.5. That's correct. And we have heading 203. Now it was correct and corresponding to the Navigraph in Dublin. I don't know if that's an update from Navigraph or just coincidence. Could just check here. No, it's 2. So we have the 1 degree discrepancy, and we will correct for that. So we are actually quite skewed here. And we will now, we should begin our descent at least at 130 nautical miles from descent to 130. Look at our distance. And yeah, it looks sensible with the, actually looks really sensible with VNAV giving us that early top of descent there. Us being quite high and having the wind straight in. So now we actually can see our approach, we can see Landevetter. Let's see if we can see anything below us. Nothing but clouds, unfortunately. Oh. Still. Oh. Did see some sort of a flash or something. No. So really, actually really dull, boring flight. Not even any crossing traffic or anything to write home about. Flying in the western part of Germany would have been exceedingly more interesting this evening. Mediterranean looks quite quiet as well. Would like to go back to Corfu, and actually I also really enjoyed flying into Split right here, and also enjoyed flying into Naples. And Olbia is also a favorite of mine, and Gibraltar I did one time, it was quite good. Short runway, interesting approach, and I even did Funchal and Tenerife on my latest European tour. A bit of traffic out there this evening. So what we'll do, we could actually see if we can get a whole weekend off to just do European flying. That would be fun, wouldn't it? During a weekend and really just hunker down on the simulator and just fly all day, all night, as long as we can endure. Of course, you usually have the best ATC in the weekends, evenings, afternoons. Saturdays and Sundays are usually best. So there's Aalborg passing just below my FO, but there's nothing to be seen at all. Dense cloud cover. So there's the top of descent at 131. That's bang on. And we will disregard that for now. And we will do auto brake 2. Still have a good at least 20 minutes before we are on the ground, so we can leave the seatbelt signs off for now. We'll pop them on passing, let's say, flight level 250. Or maybe flight level 300. So I am a bit worried about our checklist. It's quite impossible to see it. Could we use this as a light? No. There's no chance of reading that in this darkness, so we'll just have to wing it. There's some lights down there. We have a marker and we should be somewhere out here. Yeah, there we are. So we'll basically go in marker, arrive there at flight level 230. That's correct. And join the L-books 25, then note that there is a little bit of terrain or a mast. Basically go in, make a U-turn and turn back and land. And in case of a missed approach, we will continue on runway heading and then we'll turn right to Tomwy, which is set after flight level 30, and go back for a new approach. That is our descent and landing briefing basically done. So here we are. No ATC in
1,000 to go.
So we can go down to the PA. I do think this is going to be a new record for me on Dublin. Not that I do that route often, but did over 2 hours, 2 hours and 5 minutes yesterday. So and we are well ahead of schedule. So that tailwind really did help us. Do you guys see like a flash on the moon now and then? There it is. There it is again. Odd. Now we actually have some. That's where's that? That's some town in Jutland. We just missed that. And we're on profile. Speed is looking actually a tad low. But that's okay, let's get seated correctly. And let's go to 1.5. And the pressurization is looking good, and we have our landing altitude set, and the wing lights are still not operational, and neither is here. There's a flash now and then, like it wants to. Maybe it's the shine in the VR headset. That's nothing but that. So, no visible traffic, so I think we will close this here down and focus our attention completely on what we'll do. Actually, we'll tune universal ATC frequency just to make sure that we are correct on the QNH, but it does always. I haven't experienced it not corresponding to date, so
Echo Kilo Sierra November airport information.
No, still not getting. And so we are 250. We have the seatbelt signs on. And we have 86 track miles to go. And we are very skewed. We are at heading 75. Yeah. So it's off by 45 degrees actually. And if we zoom in, we can see we are actually off course as well. I do think it's the tailwind having a great influence on us. And if we look at our legs page, we should also see we are having an actual deviation of 0.04 nautical miles. Yeah, but it's good still. A bit of thrust at it. Actually, I'm not quite seated, so let's just fix that. And let's just a tad more. There we go. Perfect. So VNAV trying to get us back on track for the turn. 63. VNAV is battling the wind a little here, so we could have done just gone heading select, but we're almost done with this flight anyway. So here we are over the waters known as Kattegat. Right below us is an island, Lesser. And you can come back. And what we will do now is actually just revisit our approach speeds. We'll do a flaps 30 and we are quite light, so flaps 30 and VREF or our ref is, let's see, 136 plus 5, that's 141. And still cloudy conditions. We will monitor the temperature is rising, so we'll see once we get in the clouds what will happen. Would be cool if we could get like cabin camera or something here with an actual recording or something. It would be so awesome. So we're passing Markur now and are heading into
1,000 to go.
Elbuk, and we are at 15,000, so we can go to 8,000. And at Elbuk we will begin asking the cabin crew to clean up. And some FPS dropping, that's Sweden and Gothenburg loading in, I presume. And let's just check here. Everything is looking okay. Yeah. Set. So there's the Swedish coastline and Gothenburg city. It's quite rare to get a good view at Gothenburg, so it's nice to see. And it also shows that the clouds are a bit scattered. Don't know if we would be able to switch this to night lighting. I do seem I have heard that yeah. So what we'll do now is send out our last PA. So we will put on our runway light. Oops, landing lights. Could do our recall checked. Auto brake set to 2. Landing altitude is set, and our landing references are set as well. We will then pop on to our ILS, there we go, and there we are turning to and having a slight FPS drop as Landevetter and Gothenburg is loading in, I presume, and we are also heading into clouds. And we can descend to 5,000. There we go. Still at 3.9, so we have plenty of fuel before we hit our reserves. Nope. I could activate our aviation flashlight, but it's not coming from here, it's coming from our head, so just bug us. Then we have our obstacle at 1500 feet. Does not show on the terrain radar. So, getting closer to the clouds, I guess. What's that? Seems like something just lit up a little bit. Could that be? Nope. And we're really good on profile as well, so I think our transition altitude was 5,000. Yes, there it is. We can get the latest meta. I'm a bit laggy. We do not
Echo,
have
Sierra, Golf, airport information, Quebec 20.
Do not have our FPS enabled. We have no FPS tool enabled, so I guess that's why. And we are getting really close to some heavy settlement. Second largest city in
Echo,
Sweden.
Sierra, Golf, airport information, Romeo 2020, Zulu, weather, wind 175 at...
Echo, Sierra, Golf, airport information, Sierra 2020, Zulu, weather, wind 175, at 6, visibility 10,000, sky condition, few clouds at 3,000, 4,200, scattered, temperature 12, dew point 9, QNH 1011, advise on initial contact, you have information, Sierra.
Yeah, so that's correct, but it do...
Echo.
Now, if we had volumetric clouds, we could turn out our lights and we could actually check if we were in consistent clouds, but we cannot do that. But it does look like it's just some single clouds here and there, so we will not have any engine anti-ice on for now. So we will basically need to be descending from 5,000 to 3,000 in this turn here, which I think we will do. We have 6 miles, so we could... Yeah, now we're in the clouds. And out, and there we have lights and some clouds, so we are just in the lower layers. Should be able to see the airport. Yeah, we have passed it, so... That's the freeway. And some moonlight underwater there. So.
1,000 to go.
And we'll pop it down to 5. And so cabin crew, please be seated for landing. Yes. Sit there. Yeah, so I will start trying to get the speed a little bit under control here. As we begin our turn. There we go. I think we are in clouds, but we are TAT 11, so that's no problem. We can set standard. And as we come out of our turn, we'll be in our 10-mile ring. We can start looking at flaps 1 here. Reduce further to oops. There we go. I'll assume we are clear for the approach now. And turning final. And the Gothenburg DME has no, for some reason it does not give us a distance. So we'll just have to live with it. There's the airport coming up. We'll go back to, actually we will, on the approach. We'll go flaps 5. Boom. And imagine that we are clear to land, so let's pop on the lights here. We'll have our logo on as well. Railway lights, and looking good and stable. $10 miles out now. Looks clear for traffic. So it looks like the night lights loaded a lot better than last time I was here. So that's let's just see if we can snap a quick screenshot. One last one for the road. There we go. Coming into 3000, and we could go Flaps 15. And we can configure gear down. Go continuous. Speed brake, so we can do our landing checklist.
2500.
Flaps 15, green light, gear down 3 green, speed brake is arm, engine start is continuous, clear to land, the cabin is secure. All set. And we'll set our missed approach altitudes. I do believe that was the checklist. And 2 reds, 2 whites. One 3 knots crosswind, that should reduce once we get lower. Just a 5 mile ring, let's go. Flaps 30 and let's go to 141. A little bit of terrain underneath us. Ghosting the controls. Recycled.
1,000 feet, stabilized, missed approach altitude set.
Hopefully I did not destabilize myself.
Approaching 2-1.
Too much. I always do that because that's normally the FO's job to handle the switches, so you can destabilize very quickly when you're messing about with that. But we are back onto our profile.
Applying minimums. 400. Light slow. 300.
Yeah, I turned off the engine noise. Minimums. That's why I couldn't hear the engines.
200. Light slow. 100.
Bit low, but we're fine.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Reverses. Yeah, I got a bit cancel reverses and manual braking. I got a bit confused there because of the missing engine sounds, but I remembered now that I turned off the engines completely so I could hear the ATC. So that is why. So that startled me a bit. And welcome to Gothenburg. 15 minutes ahead of schedule. That is not bad. And we'll just turn around here. Steam to roll on, and maybe we could even get the sounds back on. There we go. this up as well. Go. Go on to Juliet's. Yeah, still nothing. Let's park close to the terminal this time. I think we pretty much cleaned it up. There's no light on this taxi line here. On to stand 19. So that bit of tailwind did give us 15 minutes, give or take. It's quite nice. I think the parking will be quite good today as well. Oops, did brake a little bit too hard there. Let's just almost there. Oh my god, come on. There we go. Kill the parking brake. And we're on the APU. And kill the engine. And normally we would put on our bright light so we could see what we were doing. And it actually did a little. Not much. Nah. So the engines are dead and we can turn it off. And cabin crew, please disarm doors and slides. Put the ground power on. Turn it off. And yeah, welcome to Gothenburg. Quiet night flight from Dublin with ATC in Dublin, but unfortunately no ATC in Gothenburg, but we've made it here nonetheless. All that is left for us to do now is check our parking and our landing rate, which we all know is very, very important to do. So, here we go. And we had a flight time of, yeah, say 1 hour and 45, 1 hour 50 minutes. That's not bad. Here we go, landing rate 212. That's not bad, that is acceptable, and we can complete that flight. Here we go. There's our flight path, and now let's head outside and have a look at the all-important parking. And we could have done better, but it is approved nonetheless. It is approved by me. So with those words and this view, I would like to thank you for watching, and please do subscribe and do like. It helps support the channel and it promotes our hobby, which is important to do. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you yet again in another video, hopefully in the Scandinavian livery, going somewhere else. But I do need to fly this baby back to Oslo before I do so. So thank you very much for watching, and have a pleasant day.